Yo, how's it going, guys? Make sure I get the levels right here. Let me know what you think the audio levels are. We'll go with that. Okay, so I haven't watched these games at all. I've been avoiding the results all day so I could watch it on stream and kind of see how it goes. The times that they're playing these games too is so weird. Like I get that they kind of pick a general, they pick a time that works for a lot of different regions. But like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm busy, man. Can't really watch this stuff. This game is craziest. All right, don't spoil it for me. Still a little loud for me. There we go. Yeah, I watched version 1's game yesterday, and they look good, man. It must suck though. Like, you go all the way to Iceland and you have a stand-in, you know. They don't have Whippy on their team, who was really good in the qualifier. Whippy was one of their best players for sure. They're a really good team. It's so weird how like these players, like the really good CS players transition well, but it's not like it's not all the same, right? Like the guys on version 1 were good Mountain Dew League players, but like they don't have the credentials of like the 100 Thieves guys and stuff. They just really click together, you know, in the game. Crazy to watch LAN again. Yeah, I know. It's wild. It's still it's not quite the same with no crowd yet, but I'll take this, you know. It's still good. I'm really glad that it came back. Finally, right? It's been so long. All the games were good. Are the games done for the day? I think they are, right? I didn't even look. I closed my eyes when I clicked on the stream, and then I just rewound 6 hours. I didn't even check if the games were done for the day. They're all done. Good. I'm slightly worried about getting a strike or Riot striking the channel or something because I'm streaming it, but hopefully they're okay with me doing like a 6-hour-old VOD. Should have asked for no spoilers in the title. I'm not, you know what, I'm not, I won't freak out if I get a spoiler or whatever. It's just as likely that someone's trolling me, right? Well, there are agents here. So just Sky on Team Liquid instead of... Okay, so they're running Sky. Got it. Just a slight different composition, right? Penny looked really good yesterday. If you put it in the title, people will do it more. I don't care. It's all good. I don't know. I'm going to see how quick these go. If they go quick, I might even be able to grab the Sentinel series too. Like, I'd like to do both. We'll see how much time I have. I'm going to, like, skip the halftime and all that stuff, right? So I should be able to zip through the VOD pretty quickly. It's weird too with Effie's. Like, Effie's was on Gen G in the start of Valorant, and he wasn't really good. He wasn't, like, he was cut from the team, right? And then he just changed his teams, and now all of a sudden, like, just fits right in like a glove. It's like the team is greater than the sum of its parts sort of thing. Like, the people on V1 are good players and everything, but when you combine them all together, they're better than they should be, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at. And I love how, like, nobody knew what was gonna happen. Like, nobody knew. Is NA better than EU? Is EU better than NA? Like, really, people have no fucking idea, right? These lineups. The fuck? Penny's already passed there anyways. Oh, they're gonna clear him out. I love the EU versus NA storyline though. I just love it. And then you have like the other regions kind of throwing, you know, trying to throw a curveball into that. Viper lineups are cringe. It's like, dude, why don't you spend some time playing the game instead of just being in a custom server, learning all these fucking lame lineups. I mean, Viper's not as bad as Sova. Sova has more fucking dumbass lineups than Viper. All the nerd lineups. Cypher's got lots too. As an EU fan, I'm going to leave before I join. The game is evolving a lot further away from CSGO than I kind of thought when the game came out. My opinion was, you know, it was basically the same as, or very close to CSGO, and it's going to play the same way. But honestly, as the meta kind of evolves and players get better using abilities and figuring out lineups and ways to attack sites, there's a lot of differences between Valorant and CSGO. And it's evolved further and further away from CSGO than I thought it would. Oh, Penny. Penny with 4. Penny. You want to see New Turn take the win just for the sake of destroying egos? Yeah. No, I haven't seen the games. I purposely didn't watch them. Like, I could have caught them in bits and pieces throughout the day, but I didn't have time to watch them during the day. And I've avoided the results. It's cool, like, the replays from the player's point of view, they're showing you... It's like you see their graphic settings and what res they're playing at, right? Like, it's like the computer they're playing on is, like, streaming to the replay server or something, right? So you see it, like, from their point of view. It's not just, like, the GoTV replay like in CS. I was really, really hoping there was going to be a replay system kind of brought in at the same time as Iceland. I thought that would make sense to bring in a replay system. But they did not. So, because I'd really like to make more Valorant content. It's just hard because, like, you're working with just streams, you know? You usually miss some plays, but now you see everything. Yeah, it's just like CSGO, basically. Like, in CSGO, they have... They watch the game through all 10 players' perspective, and then when they do a replay, they can pick and choose who to check out in the replay. The stretch res replays, yeah. It's funny, though. Your bet's replay system at Masters 3? I hope so. Honestly, if the day the replay system comes out for Valorant, I'll probably heavily switch to more Valorant content. But I don't know, like, just what I do with the channel, right? It's so limiting, or like, how much can you really do off a stream? You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to make the type of videos that I want to make just by looking at stream VODs, I don't think. I guess I should try and release one, see how it does. Like, I don't really know. It's kind of the thing with YouTube. I really have no idea what I'm doing. Effie's had so many clutches against, who the fuck did they play? I forget who they played yesterday, but Effie's was like bottom fragging, but it was just clutch after clutch after clutch. But there were some brutal tech pauses. Like, look at these graphic settings. Yesterday I had what was it? Technical pause that lasted like 45 minutes or something. It was ridiculous. Also, apparently Luminosity dropped Thief and Stellar for match fixing. I did see that they were dropped. Luminosity did come out and say that it wasn't due to the match fixing. But come on. You know, I've said this before. If I ran an org, or if I owned an org, you're always trying to recruit like good guys, right, or good people to play for the team, and you don't want to get guys that are tough to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So, like, there's lots of guys in the CS scene that are great guys. So I bet you this org just approached them and said, "Hey guys, like, can we talk about this match fixing thing? Can you be honest about it?" And this is all my opinion, of course, but I'm sure, you know, they were just honest about it. Maybe they told the org that, yeah, we fucked around and did some stuff we shouldn't have done, and then the org made a decision based on that. And obviously, you know, if a player comes forward and admits to something, then you know, you're not going to throw them under the bus publicly by saying, yeah, we kicked them off for match fixing and we're severing ties. You're going to, you know, at least show them the same amount of respect they showed you by them coming forward. And when you cut them from the team or you drop them, you say, you know, you have nothing but the utmost respect for them, etc., etc. I think that's what happened. But like the match fixing was so normalized that like everybody was doing it. It wasn't just some bad apples or whatever, a couple bad people in MDL. It was normalized to the point where everyone's like, oh, well, I guess, okay, I got my game. Let's figure out the match fixing and stuff like that. It was just like, I'm trying to draw an analogy, but like, it was just normal for these guys to do. And what I'm getting at is like, not everybody that involved was a giant piece of shit, right? Like, I'm sure there were good guys that did it, and I thought I heard that maybe some were even working with ESIC about it. So, I mean, that's why I'm trying not to go too hard on these guys in the videos that I make. Like, you don't know where the chips are going to fall until the whole thing is kind of figured out, right? Maybe some guys worked with ESIC to try and help out and solve the problems, but yeah. And like the other thing too, you don't know if they did it once or if they did it multiple times. And talking about just my video too, my video itself was far from conclusive. They definitely did not kick these guys off the team based on my video. I guarantee you that. You know, I'm sure they just had an honest conversation with the guys, and the guys came forward. That's what I think. I don't think they should get dropped, to be honest. Yeah, they match fixed, but like, it's the past, and they're probably better now. The thing is, like, the problem is, like, when the news drops on it, like, well, here's an example. Just look at my thumbnails, right? So, like, my Marved one, it really looks like Marved is match fixing. I'm sorry. If you watch the videos, it looks pretty fucking blatant. But like, you know, when I make the thumbnail, it's FaZe, Marved, and like FaZe, and so you're associating FaZe and Marved together over and over. Huge organization linked to match fixing because of the players that play on that team, and that's why the orgs would preemptively drop them, right? They don't want to be in a position where we're saying Luminosity match fixing, Luminosity match fixing, Thief. It, like, you know what I mean? They don't want their name associated with that, so they're just trying to get ahead of the curve, I guess, right? Because all this information is going to come out eventually. I think it was Richard Lewis said that there's over 25 people involved, and like in the Zelsis comments that he made, he said 8 teams were involved, which is 40 players. So I don't know. I understand these orgs preemptively dropping people, even though Thief was one of their best players. Probably A Proto and Thief are their 2 best players, right? You know, I know the team was struggling, but usually you don't drop your best team. Oh, look at this counter burst, and it worked! It fucking worked! The counter. Ice Wall, holy shit. Soulcast way too aggressive there. That's a brutal peek to take through that smoke. Like, he tried to flash through the smoke with his little bird, but then, like, your flash pops. There's no way every single player's looking at heaven, right? He was trying to just get a little bit of control, but that was never gonna work out. I'm surprised that Luminosity was the first org to drop players, to be honest. Like, I don't know what's up with this Rise org, but like Calypso, Shanks, and who's the other guy, Poised. Some of the shit going on with those guys, it looked pretty blatant. But you know, maybe they got a good deal on the players. Stellar just wasn't. Hey, Valorant update. What's going on, dude? Recognize your name. Stellar just wasn't doing enough prep work. Their last run was in Challengers and it was rough. Yeah. Yeah, so you know, you can criticize his IGL's abilities. It depends where... How can I say this? It depends where Luminosity want to be as a team, and maybe even where their salaries are. Say, you know, if they're paying salaries and they're picking up players with the expectation of being like a rank 1 to 3 seed NA, then they definitely underperformed, right? But if their expectation as a team is to be top 10, then they're not that far off of where they plan to be, right? But it all depends on what the expectation of the team is. Not every team in Valorant can be, you know, we want to be number 1. At least like from a management point of view, when running these teams, I think that's the stance I'd have anyways, right? You can't expect every team to fucking be number 1. Rise is doing so well right now. Yeah, they look good in the qualifiers. They didn't make it through, obviously, but they looked like they're good players on the team. Oh, I got some new subs. Nice. Yeah, they looked good, and there's nothing wrong with their fragging power. Like Shanks, Calypso, and Poise are all good players. Shanks is a little like 3 IQ there, but there's nothing wrong with his aim. And he's still young, right? So, I mean, honestly, skill-wise, this guy's the limit. Look at Effie's. Effie's at the end of the round is nasty, dude. I'm seeing this a lot. Where Effie's is polishing off these rounds and finishing them off. LG right now as an org is doing horrible. They spent 20 million on a CDL spot. I don't know what CDL is. Is that something for League of Legends? I don't follow League at all. And the org is bleeding money. I think a lot of esports orgs are bleeding money. It's all, you know, it's Silicon Valley type attitudes, right? Where they're built on speculation and they're trying to bring in investor money and they're hoping they can turn a profit before they run out of investor money. Just like every company that comes out of Silicon Valley, like Uber and all that shit, right? They just keep raising money. They hope they don't run out of it. Call of Duty League. Okay, thanks. Yeah, there's probably only a few orgs that actually steadily make money, you know? It's all depending on what you can pick up as sponsors. And then you see these fucking buildings that they make and shit, like 100 Thieves, their compound, as they call it. Like, all the buildings they fucking build are ridiculous. Woo! That's nice. If an org CEO leaves and the org starts a new one, would you have faith in the new one? If an org CEO leaves and starts a new one, would you have the faith in the new org? Well, I mean, probably not, right? But I think esports is littered with guys like that, right? That kind of dip in and out and build shit up and take off. Like the guy that was running, shit, what was that website that just came out for like the Valorant? Was it the Spike GG? Can't remember. The website that basically wasn't paying any of their editors for all the news updates and shit like that. And the dude had a history of being like a fucking tool. And then, you know, he just says sorry. And anyways, esports is full of scummy people, I guess is what I'm getting at. Team Liquid's made so many mistakes that they couldn't afford during that match. Yeah. I mean, that's how it always is, right? That's how it always is. Like, and you're even think of your personal experience playing the game. Like, if you get matched up against players that really match you skill level, you know, your mistakes that you make are going to be exposed even more. Or if you get matched up against players that are more skilled than you, you know, every tiny little mistake is going to stand out like a sore thumb. So it's like, yes, it's a degree of they made mistakes and they shouldn't have done several things, but there's also an element like what made them do those mistakes, right? And it's the answer is the team they're playing against. Ghost Gaming Management went and started Dark Zero Esports. Ghost Gaming was in CS:GO for a little bit. I don't know much about them from a management perspective. That's what I'm saying. I really think they did a good job with the maps, eh? Like, they were rough for a bit. Split was super defensive. Look at these graphic settings. Like, what the fuck? It's the NVIDIA glow, or what's it called? The NVIDIA fucking enhance or some shit. Gamma. I don't know. But they did a good job with the maps. They had to fix Split a little bit after it came out. They changed some angles to make it less defender-sided, but they did pretty good. I was actually kind of disappointed that the Breeze wasn't in the rotation for this. I know it would have been hard for the teams and everything, but I was super excited to see it played. And like, I've played on the map a little bit. It's a lot of fun. It's a good map too, and it looks gorgeous. It's a gorgeous map. TSM are making a lot of changes to their roster. Yeah, TSM just benched Brax, which is, I don't know where TSM goes from here, honestly. They need a lot of stuff to happen to become a winning team. To bench Brax before playing like a significant amount of games kind of tells me that he must have been brutal in scrims, right? If you're gonna, they benched him based solely on his scrim performance because he hardly played any matches, right? So I wonder what was going on, or if he just wasn't meshing, or what the fuck, right? It looks gorgeous, but you hate it so much. I mean, I kind of hate every map when it first comes out, though, to be honest. Wait, that's not quite true. I still hate Icebox. But like, I didn't like Split. The only map I liked at release was Bind, because it was I guess it's like a very simple map, right? But the other ones kind of grew on me. Brax is a quiet player. I can't see him and Wardell vibing. Hard to say. I mean, Brax was on teams with loud guys, though, in the past. Brax bounced around a lot more than people kind of realize in MDL and stuff like that. Like, he played MDL, or was he just bottom EPL? Can't remember now. But he's been playing in ESEA for a little bit now. Even like once his band was abolished by ESEA, he's been playing pretty consistently with all sorts of different people. I think he played with Freakazoid. Yeah, he was playing on the Swag. Wait, what was the team called? It's right on the tip of my tongue. The fucking team that Freakazoid made. His brother was playing on it. Cooper was on it. Anyways. Wardell isn't as wild as he is during streams. Yeah, I'm sure he's not totally in character while playing matches. The goods coming out of the T1 camp, though, from Fraud have been pretty wild. That dude's Swole Patrol. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Thank you. Yeah, he played on Swole Patrol for a bit. He's played with some characters in his past. Oh, that was a fucking whoopsie. Ooh. Both with 20 HP, and he's gonna fuck off to B site. What a good game. This is the worst, right? When you're low HP and you kind of have to come in running. Like, you're so far away that the time has ticked so far. You kind of have to make some noise. Fraud really should have never said that, though. Not a good career move. Yeah, his career's done. In my opinion. Like, I appreciate all the juicy details and the drama, but his career as a coach is probably over. Those orgs do not appreciate their dirty laundry getting aired. And even though T1 was super shady and super shitty, I guarantee you... fuck. I guarantee you other orgs do not look kindly on that. Love your YouTube channel. I get excited every upload. Thanks, dude. V1 of the underdogs. Yes, definitely. This Jammies guy filled in last minute, right? And he's coming in, kind of playing... I feel like coming in as, like, to play a Viper would be difficult as a stand-in too, right? It would be easiest to come in and be like a duelist, you know? But to come in and play Viper on a team, I think he's only played with the team like 2 weeks. Pretty wild. What did Fraud say about T1? Oh, Jesus, it's a long story. So Fraud left the team originally. He wasn't getting along with management, and they wanted him to add this assistant coach that they really didn't tell him much about, and they just wanted, and like there was already enough kind of going on, or enough voices in the room for the team anyways, so they wanted him to add this assistant coach. He kept saying no, 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 and then eventually when Fraud left, basically because he wasn't getting along with management, they added the assistant coach, and it was a guy that cheated in PUBG. And Fraud had no idea that the guy was a cheater in PUBG, but not only did he cheat in PUBG, he fucking, when he got caught for cheating, he changed his first name. So this dude changed his real name so the community wouldn't know who he is, but eventually, you know, communities, hundreds of thousands of people looking at you, dude, they eventually figured it out, maybe based on his picture or whatever, and that guy was added as an assistant coach to the team. So Fraud did this interview with Richard Lewis and kind of laid all this out, right? Then the other stuff that he added, so he also made some tweets, or no, it was his stream. He was streaming about and talking about, oh, what's the guy's name? Spider on V1 messaged management like 3 times to quit the team. And he wanted to quit because he was getting bullied by Dazed and Skadoodle. Dazed, nobody was surprised about, but people were surprised that Skadoodle would kind of talk shit or maybe bully somebody. And, you know, Fraud kept telling him to stick it out, stick it out, stick it out. And obviously he did. He's still on the team, but it was just another... It's like a... Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of layers to this. I would suggest if you really want to know, go check out the Richard Lewis thing, but... like he messaged like, or he showed the chat logs between him and Spider, which really he didn't need to do, right? That was, you know, it's a private chat between you and a pro player. Maybe chill out. You don't need to link the fucking chat logs, especially. So Spider had to come out and make a statement saying, okay, yeah, that's how I felt in the past, but now, you know, I enjoy my team, and Dazed and Skadoodle it's all better now, blah blah blah. It's like, you know, Fraud really put him in a kind of a shitty situation by talking about a private conversation. So that kind of sucked for him. But yeah, apparently morale in the camp at V1, like they were playing with shitty internet. They were getting lost on all their fucking games. Nobody agreed with Dazed and his calling except for Dazed. Like Fraud said he told him his strats are all shit, but Dazed refused to change how he called. Brax kind of said the same thing. His strats were shit, so that's kind of why Brax left. And anyways, there's a whole host of issues. Okay, let's move on. Guy threw on the fake mustache and called it a day. Yeah, exactly. Like, who cheated? And he's still there. So they made a video too, and they came out and they're like, "Oh, we recognize that I was cheating, or we recognize that he was a cheater, but we believe in second chances and stuff like that." And me personally, I believe in second chances too. That's fine. But dude, you can't come in and just like slither your way into the scene and hope that nobody notices after you change your fucking name. Like, that's kind of why I made the video about Effie's, a guy that was caught for match fixing, and now, like, he did his time. He admitted it. You know, I got caught. I did my time. But you can't, like, this fucking guy, I forget his name, on T1 gets caught cheating in PUBG, immediately quits after he was caught, and he cost someone like a LAN spot, right, to their big tournament. And then he moved on to Apex Legends. Then he moved on to Valorant. So basically, like, he was never punished for cheating at all, right? So that's really what left a sour taste in my mouth. It's like, dude, if you're going to fuck around, at least do the time, right? Don't be a little bitch about it. Version 1 is a great org. After hearing all the horror stories about other orgs, I'm glad they signed with V1. Yeah, I actually don't know anything about V1 as an org just because they didn't have a CS team, right? And I only really followed CS. I'd say they lucked out with the team that they got, though. Like, the performance, they're performing way above what people expected from them, for sure. I'm sure they signed them for, like, a reasonable price. There's no 250,000 per year contracts here, like with 100 Thieves. Nitro making 250K a year. V1 is backed by a literal billionaire. Really? Who is it? There's no way they win this, right? There's no fucking way. Dude, I told you Effie's! I told you Effie's late round is ridiculous. Does he have time? Oh my god. He had like 69 health. Nice. V1's backed by the Minnesota Vikings. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the teams really have ownership from like professional players, or like NRG's part of, like, Shaq is an investor in NRG. Is it Shaq? Pretty sure it's Shaq. I can't believe they fucking lined up for him. What the fuck are you doing? What do I think about the NIP replay and Flashpoint? Oh, fuck me. That was full retard right there. I don't, honestly, yeah. I think it was blown out of proportion a bit. The situation was stupid, and the game probably should have never been played. But you know what? I think this is like, I tweeted about this, which is rare for me because I don't tweet about anything. But who was it? War Owl tweeted that he really had no strong opinion about it, and I'm like, that's kind of how I feel. Yeah, it sucks that you had to play it. Is it technically part of the rules? I guess it was. And does the situation kind of suck? Yeah, it sucks for everybody except for NIP, pretty much. You know, like, it ruins the integrity of the match. But should the game have been played from the start? Obviously not. If the shoe was on the other foot, would that team have been able to replay NIP? I don't know. Then we're just playing total hypotheticals, right? Probably not. Like, who fucking knows, right? Anyways, the whole situation just sucked, and it should have never happened. But like, my opinion on how it should have been handled, like I said, I really don't have that strong of an opinion on that. Effie's lining up 2K spray downs reminds me of his skills against C9 in the qualifier. From now on, the shit show from Liquid begins. Okay. Dude, I cannot tell you how badly I want NA to finish Like top 2 in this. What is he wearing on his head? What the fuck? Valorant update, dude. When's the next video coming? And you gotta change that video, or you gotta change that name. I tried to search on YouTube I tried to search for your channel. So I typed in Valorant update, and I got 6 million other fucking hits for things unrelated to your channel. It's too generic. Just cut some cattier headphones, yeah. What are they playing here? This is almost like a jet spot. Like, this is a one and done spot. Okay, he's just gonna throw an orb. Dude, they look great. V1 looks so good. Part 4 is in the works, but busy with summer semester at the moment. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's hard to do anything in the summer for me. Can't wait for your recommended to be filled with clip channels with these matches. Yeah, that's true. With like the world's biggest fucking clickbait title. Do you believe that Astra changes the fundamentals of the game? I think Riot has an uphill battle with their goal to like continually be releasing agents. Like, I don't know how you make the game not full on, like a full on freak show when there's like 20-30 agents. So I mean, Astra has weird abilities. The suck is pretty weird, but there's going to be more agents that are just as weird, right? Like, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, obviously I'm coming at this from a CSGO perspective where everybody's the same, right? But yeah, eventually they're going to release agents that, like, they're going to have abilities that we didn't think of, because you can't have the same agents with the same abilities, etc. You need, like, each agent kind of needs a shtick, right? And I don't know, man. I just realized I got that overlay on and I don't need that. And yeah, I don't know. Astra's not going to be the last ridiculous agent that is released. I guarantee you that. There's going to be a lot of very controversial agents. Probably every single one, to be honest. I don't know if their balance is kind of in line with I think it was Blizzard with World of Warcraft. Like, whenever they release something new, they intentionally make it a little bit overpowered, right? Because they want people to play it. You don't want to, although Yoru was a little underpowered. So maybe this is the wrong line of thinking. What a fucking peak. What are you doing? That's insane. Jeez. Yeah, I was going to say, so Yoru is kind of the counter argument to this, but I was going to say, like, when an agent is released, Riot want to see that guy played, and they want to see him picked, and even at the pro level, right? So there's a reason to release agents a little bit overpowered each time, in my opinion. And I don't know if Riot's going to kind of follow in that train of thinking. With Yoru, that obviously did not happen because that guy is garbage. But we'll see, you know, over the next couple years, kind of what the trend is. I like your idea of releasing an agent every 6 months. Yes, I really think they got to do that. Next agent code name in the game files is Grenadier. So grenade launcher, yeah, like who knows? Tactical time. Let's see, this is the nice thing about watching a VOD. Fast forward. Yeah, you know, it's a Grenadier coming next. I'm sure it's going to be grenades and mollies and maybe a fucking cluster bomb for an ult. Like, who knows? But there's going to be stupid agents coming out. There's nothing, you know, that's kind of the game that we're playing. That's what we bought into, right? We want these ridiculous agents. But even now, like, the game has been out just over a year, and already the agents, it's like they've released quite a few, and it takes a long time to really learn what the fuck is going on every time a new guy gets released. Dude, you have to have permission to stream this. Yeah, it's not live. I mean, maybe I need permission to stream it, you know, on a 6-hour delay, but we'll take that risk. Makes sense. OP characters equal people will be attracted to play. That's what Valve does with Dota. Yeah. And Blizzard kind of did that with World of Warcraft too. Tech pauses are longer than yeah. Yesterday the tech pauses were brutal. I had like a good half-hour, 45-minute chunk that I could sit down and watch the game. Sit down, tech pause the entire time. I'm like, nice. AC 130 ult for the Grenadier. I suspect that guy's going to be out like relatively soon too. Vanity, but those are nice fights. Dude, down to the wire. Riot said that they're going to slow down the output of agents because they don't want to oversaturate the game. I think they just said that I hope they do that permanently, but I thought they just said that for this next agent or this next release of an agent. Like they weren't going to. Yeah, I don't know if they said that they were going to do that going forward or if it was just going to be for this next guy, right? To be fair, they have been slightly balancing them. Yeah, I think they're balanced pretty well. Jeez, I didn't even notice Link was playing Brimstone. Like, fucking, that's a big difference from NA meta, that's for sure. You never see Brimstone. I do think they've been doing a good job balancing, and so far, Riot hasn't egregiously fucked anything up too badly, except for that whole. You guys must have seen that security thing, or what was it? They were making like a kind of League of Legends classic, and a security researcher or a security member of the Riot team messaged the creator on Discord, and it was the cringiest fucking messages ever, saying that he finds people or he finds things in people, and he needs this project deleted immediately. Anyways, turns out that was actually a Riot employee. That's really the only misstep that I've seen since I've kind of been plugged into their news feed. Anyways, no match medic. Yeah, that's ridiculous. They're missing some stuff, right? They're missing demos too. It's a pretty big thing to miss. Like for these teams to practice appropriately and to you know, to be able to review VODs on their own and shit like that, a demo system would certainly be helpful. Even for content, a demo system is helpful. Like, look at the shit quality of this VOD compared to... Jeez, right down the wire here. Like, look at the shit quality of these... Like, you stream. The best stream you can put out is usually, like, 10 megabits per second. But I record my VODs at 50 megabits per second, right? Like... When you can go into a demo and actually record something, it comes out way, way higher quality. They also took a good step to only release a map this time and not a map and agent. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I don't mind Riot chilling on the agents. Even on the maps, like, you don't need maps to come out super often. It sucked that they released the game with only 3 maps. That fucking sucked, obviously. There were some early tournaments. They had a best of 5 final where they played the same map twice. Like, that was stupid. But once you have a set amount of maps, you can get away with doing a map like once a year. That would be a faster cadence than CSGO. Like, CSGO definitely does not do 1 map per year. Should they? Yes, probably. Penny's so good, dude. Thoughts on 1 ban per team? I think that would allow more draft diversity, like to ban an agent. That's what League of Legends does, right? I don't know. There's not enough agents for that yet. I don't know. What the fuck was Link looking at there? Just looking for the gun instead of trying to take a gunfight. I think there should be a way to cancel out an Astra Star like a turret from Killjoy. The meta is getting too slow. She might have too many stars as well, right? Like, I don't know. It's hard to balance because you can't make every balance change. You don't want to make too many balance changes, and you don't want to adjust the dial too much, right? You want to just kind of tweak it a touch. And kind of see what it's like, right? Oh, what a peak. Like, Liquid running Brimstone over Astra is a little questionable. You think Brim's only used this match by Team Liquid and Fun plus Phoenix? Or FPX? Ban Sova, most played agent. Yeah, Sova. I thought Sova should have been tweaked a while ago, to be honest. Like, I know there's no Sova in this game, but he's played on literally every other fucking map. I thought they should maybe reduce the scan of the recon dart. It's just the recon dart that's the problem, right? The drone is fine, in my opinion. The shock darts are fine. The ult is fine. The recon dart is way too strong, in my opinion. Oh, what the fuck was that peak, eh? Vanity was not expecting that. I bet you nobody expected this game to go like this, eh? Team Liquid supposed to be the big bad boys from Europe. Jets genuinely played on every map, pretty much, yeah. You need to have a good opper. Like, you see teams with not really a good opper, like 100 Thieves, don't play Jet. But yeah, you need to have a pretty good opper to play Jet. I agree. I think Jet... See, Jet's a little overpowered, but like, how do you fix it, right? The problem is the dash. Some people said you need to, like, to adjust the dash, it goes in the direction you're looking instead of the direction that you're holding your key, right? And I thought that was an okay fix. It just lets you stay in angles that don't make sense. So you kind of, like, you get people walking into you because you're playing in an angle that doesn't exist, and then you just dash out, right? I think Riot wants a good balance between casual and comp viability. I feel, wasn't League of Legends heavily, like, they just balanced it for esports basically for League of Legends? That's what I thought they did. Get your gun out, Celsius. Fuck. Surprised Nitro hasn't switched to primary op. He probably doesn't like it. That's the problem. During Liquid's Grand Slam run, that's all he did. Yeah, he was kind of forced into the op in CSGO too, though. Steal opping has got to be the biggest crime in Valorant right now, because I think he is fucking terrible with the op. And that's coming from someone that loves Steal as a player, and I think he's a fantastic CSGO player and a fantastic Valorant player. Get the op out of his fucking hands. I was surprised, like, I saw him opping months ago, and I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, okay, this isn't working. And then he used it all throughout the qualifiers, and he was terrible with it. And I was disappointed that he didn't see that he had to fix that issue, right? Like, he's a very critical player, but he has to be critical of himself as well. And I feel like him not noticing the glaring issue about, like, how bad he is with the op, those are a real blind spot from him, in my opinion. Like, I don't think we see Seal on the op anymore. We shouldn't. I think that's better fixed than dashing only where you're aiming. I think they should make it so that you can't look around when you dash. You should be able to clear close left, pushing onto sight. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, actually. But yeah, they need to do something with dash. I think. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, fuck, I don't know. These games, like, I'm sure Riot knew they were biting off a lot to chew when they built a game with, like, anime characters that was going to be ridiculous to balance, right? Like, everybody knew this game was going to be stupid hard to balance. So there's not going to be any easy fixes, and it's going to be a constant challenge for Riot to deal with. Seal is losing them rounds by doing it? Yeah. Yes, I agree. He's the 5,000 op decoy, or $5,000 op decoy. Yes, I think 100 Thieves is the next team to make a roster change. For that reason, they have no early round impact. And Sentinels, yeah, that's like the ingrained CSGO mentality, right? Where you're not really aggressive CT side or defense side. They haven't really. I think Valorant, you need to adjust. You need to be aggressive defense sided. You cannot sit in the sites and let people execute on your site. It's just too strong. It's like you don't have to push every area of the map, but you gotta like pick something apart, figure something out. They're gonna lose this in extra, aren't they? In overtime. Who do you even drop, though? Yeah, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if they should drop someone, but I did expect Steel, like I said, to be more critical of his own performance. And after you play, you know, I watched him play, I don't know how many games where he's opping. It never looked good. I'm like, dude, like, it's viable in this game, in my opinion, to go with no op. So I think that's probably what they should have done. Is it ideal? I don't know. The debate for how powerful the op is kind of, you know, like look at right now. Nobody's opping right now. I mean, yes, it's overtime, but whatever. Yeah. So I guess you can have that debate. Do they need an op? Do they need somebody that's opping? Well, if that's the case, then literally give it to fucking anybody but Steel. Or at least let somebody else try it. Anyways. See any flaws with the OT system? It's a little quick for pro level play. It's fine for pubbing, or it's fine for matchmaking, whatever, but the one round is pretty quick. But it makes a lot of sense for casual play. I don't know about the money. Like, the money system, I don't know. They really reduced, like, the max amount, right? In beta, what was the max? Was it 12 or 13,000? The max money in beta, and then they reduced it to 9, and I feel like 9 is so limiting. They've kept it at that, and it's been fine. But I feel like there's really not much punishing a team. Like if you win 3 flawless rounds in a row, you're not set up for that long because your money's gonna max out. Oh my god, what a fucking sketch position, Vanity. Holy shit. And they're gonna make it work? What the fuck? Where the fuck was he playing? He's playing like in front of the bomb box. What the fuck? 100 Thieves dropped Dicey for the sake of picking up Ethan, but lost all their op play. Yeah. I think that was still the right play. Ethan is way better than Dicey. And, like with a game like Valorant, it's a new game, right? There has to be an expectation that you're keeping up with the... Like, that's the problem with TSM. That's why TSM is shit. Because they never adjusted to the evolving game. The game's evolving, new teams are coming up, and new players are switching over that are... Like, look at V1. All these players switched over. They're better than guys on TSM. But TSM never took the time to adjust or make changes or bring in new people. It took them forever to do that. So I think let me fast forward this. For 100 Thieves to drop Dicey, I think was the right play. Like, okay, now you have somebody with LAN experience. They were actually the #1 ranked team not that long ago. I think last year they were the #1 ranked team in the world briefly. EG was. And yeah, I think it was the right decision for them to try and keep up with the evolving Valorant scene. Did you watch these games live? No, I did not. Screw Viper. Yeah, I feel like the money, yeah, 12K might be too much, but I feel like they just, maybe they changed it too much. I don't know, maybe 10K, something like that. I don't know. Oh, Evies, get the fuck out of there. Dude, what a game. Holy shit. Yeah, I had no issue with them picking up Ethan. I know Dicey was like a fan favorite. Honestly, if I was Dicey, Dicey should really lean on 100 Thieves to promote his stream and maybe go, like, he's a very good streamer. Not for me, he's more of a Zoomer type guy, but he's entertaining on stream for sure. And I think he could be a successful streamer if he wanted to be. Whether or not he wants to do that or go pro, like, I don't fucking know, but obviously it's been a while since he played pro now, right? The only logical player to bench on 100 Thieves would be Hiko. Sounds crazy, but I don't know who else. Yeah, I don't think they're benching anyone. Hiko's way too big. Hiko's on the team because he's good and because he's got like 20,000 average viewers on Twitch. They're never benching him. They're going to stick it out, you know. They have such an experienced CSGO roster. They should be able to adapt and overcome. And, like, I'm sure everybody else on the team is watching Steel Op and being like, what is going on here? Oh, they're not even going to look. Dude, what the fuck, eh? Soulcast is in T-spawn. Hiko only playing Sova is the same problem as Wardell only playing Jet. Limits their draft diversity greatly. I think Hiko can play other agents though, can he? Like, he played Breach a lot in the past. I'm sure, you know, he's got so many hours in the game, I'm sure he can rotate to someone else. If he had to. The thing is, like, does he only play Sova, or is Sova just super overpowered and played on almost every map, right? Like, what does Hiko play on Split? There's no way he plays Sova. Hiko gets millions of unique impressions a week, so yeah, ad revenue too big, yeah. And on his stream, I'm sure there's a big fucking logo that says 100 Thieves, right? I'm not saying that's the only reason he's on the team, but that's a reason he's not getting cut from the team. Like, he's a good player too, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, you don't cut a guy with that many stream viewers, at least not yet. You know, he hasn't been, it's not like he's been historically their worst player for an extended amount of time, right? He's still performing pretty good. He only plays Breach on Split, but Sova every map. I actually do not like Breach. I think Breach is a pretty bad agent, and his ult is fucking terrible. Hot take there, but the problem with his ult is people use it, and then they run in with reckless abandon, right? But if the ult misses a player that was hiding somewhere in the site, that dude's gonna wreck your fucking team as you run in. So you're going in expecting these guys to be stunned, but there's a guy in a position, like, you need to account for the positions that aren't getting stunned, I guess is what I'm getting at. And you see it all the time in pro play. They really don't do that. They'll run in, the ult misses somebody, and then the guy that dodged the ult just fucking wrecks the entire team. Hundred Thieves permaban Split, yeah. Hiko's the one who literally built all the Valorant rosters for 100 Thieves. Yeah. I mean, I don't that yeah, like he probably played a big part in it, but I'm sure the $250,000 to Nitro per year helped him join the team as well. It wasn't just Hiko being there. I'm sure Ethan makes just as much as Nitro too. Is anyone else bummed that Sean Garrett isn't casting these games, by the way? I was so bummed when he decided not to go. I know he's got a new-ish kid there, but it sucks, man. Hiko plus 4 PUBG players, yeah. Yeah, this is not. Look at the mini map. They got that wrong. Like they got 1 in heaven and 2 on B. This is not good. This is not a good read by V1. You're bummed that there's no demos for Sean to break down. Yeah, me too. I wonder if he had any intentions of playing Sean, or if he just, you know, intended to stick to casting. He played in a qualifier just with a pug team, with a couple other good players. This is it for V1, isn't it? Are we done? Are we done, boys? Gonna suck them up. Yoink. Okay, V1 down. 1 map. What a game, though. Oops. How far back do I gotta go here? There we go. Okay. C9 was looking good, getting 3rd place. Add TenZ would be nice. Yeah, C9 looked really good. Surprisingly, like it came out of left field, right? They just went from shit to being super good. That's what, like, Valorant being such a new game, right? It's so volatile. A new game like this is really, really volatile. A player that's bad today maybe just figures something out or something clicks, totally changes his playstyle, and can be good tomorrow. Like, yeah, I know they changed a bunch of players too there, but and having Shinobi on the team didn't help at all. I'm just saying V1's the best looking team in the entire tournament. Oh shit. Does that mean they win this BO3? I can assume yes. I can't believe Effie's though. Like, he was... What happened to him? He was pretty mediocre on Gen G. And then he just gets picked up by these guys and he's like amazing now. Map 2's a banger, man. No worries. Cool. Sentinel's approached Sean Garrett about being the coach of 1.2 probably. He was approached a lot for coaching in CSGO. And he never took it though. He never really wanted to do that. Is there any point in watching the 3rd map considering the score? I don't know. I don't know what happens in the 3rd map yet. I didn't watch it. So yeah, I'm going to watch it. V1's so fucking good. They don't have the best individual players, but they're banging right now. Sometimes, like, sometimes you just click with teammates, right? Like, I know some players that I play with, you barely even have to calm to them, and you're able to kind of work with and get teamwork from them, right? Like sometimes you just click with a certain type of player. But I've like there's other guys you'll play with. Some friends of mine that I'll play with. We've been playing together for years. Zero teamwork whatsoever. There's just no synergy between my playstyle and their playstyle. And I don't know. I feel like it's even the same at the pro level. Like, yes, everybody knows how to crossfire and make like contact plays and stuff like that. But there's an element of having players on your team that are just kind of elevating your play to the next level just because you mesh with them so well. Guys, can we not spoil the series for him? It's fine. I'll live. These two NA versus EU matches were so good. Awesome. Map 3 is the reason you think that the V1's the best team in the tournament. But V1 did kind of get... They got rocked by Sentinels in the qualifier, right? So shouldn't that mean Sentinels is the best team? And V1's playing with a fucking stand-in. Thoughts on how you would rate Shazam as an IGL for Sen? I mean, it's been working out pretty darn good, right? They've been consistently one of the best teams in North America. Or consistently the best team in North America. Maybe some small points, like at first they lost first strike, but there was extenuating circumstances for that. I mean, his results speak for themselves, right? He's obviously doing really good, which sounds weird probably for people coming from CSGO, because Shazam was not, as far as I know, Shazam was not really an IGL in CSGO at all. Like, he was considered a really solid tier 2 player in CSGO. He was kind of always like the third or fourth best opper in CSGO. But obviously he's made things work in Valorant. Like, he's doing really well. It's very weird to see Shazam's name next to IGL. For me anyways, because like years and years and years I've seen Shazam play. I remember him playing on Cloud9 with Semphis and the whole exiting B thing, which was fucking hilarious. Look that up if you don't know what that is. It's just weird seeing him as an IGL. Riot is actually recording all the stream comms. They played V1's comms by accident during a cutscene, so we'll get some great content afterwards. Yeah. Yo, what's up? How are you? NA1 Iceland. What the fuck? Yes, but it was only seeding, so I'm not sure how much value I put in it. And even though Sentinels won, I wasn't convinced by their play, whereas V1 just looked so good. I mean, they both look good, right? Steel called it ahead of time that V1 was going to qualify, and he was correct. And the only series that V1 lost along the way, they were put into the lower bracket by Sentinels, if I'm not mistaken. And then they were beat in the final. They fought their way through the entire lower bracket, met Sentinels again in the finals, and that was, again, another series that they lost. But, yeah, they're really fucking good. After today's matches, you would say C9 is probably better than Liquid and Fnatic. Honestly, I'm so glad that fucking NA is finally good at something, because we are shit at everything else. I don't know. Maybe we're good at Call of Duty. I don't fucking know, but we're garbage at Counter-Strike and we're garbage at Counter-Strike from NA. Garbage at like most esports, despite having like a pretty big population of people here that play. Chat is annoying as fuck. Which map is most balanced? I actually think they did a pretty good job on a lot of them. Yeah, I'd agree with you. Ascent is really well done. Split is a weird map, but I think it's okay. Like, it fits into the Valorant weirdness as well. Like, Valorant's kind of a weird game, and I think it fits okay, actually. I personally like playing Bind. You don't see it that much. Like, it seems like teams kind of don't play it too much, but I personally enjoy playing Bind. I don't know. I like the maps. Shazam's 90s IGL and frags on Jet. Yes, he's good. He's been around forever too. Like he was a source player. Like he's not super old. I don't think he's 30. He's like upper 20s, like 28, maybe 29 or something. I'm just going off the top of my head here, but he originally played Source, then moved into CS:GO and had ups and downs in CS:GO for sure. Like he had his shot on Cloud9 when Cloud9 was a pretty good team, and he was always like pretty good, but just never was able to stick on the team. Like he didn't play on Cloud9 for that long. You mean what region is better? What region of Valorant is the best? Well, of course I'm biased. I'm going to say NA. I think that's the whole point of this tournament, right? We're going to figure it out. There's definitely some entertaining matches from all the regions. I've watched a lot of Korean Valorant. I thought it was super entertaining. I don't think they're going to make it to the end of this tournament. I think one of the reasons why it's so entertaining is because of the difference in skill level between the top and like the middle-ish in Korea. Shaz is 27. Ah, that's a pretty good guess then. You played Shaz and Fugly in ESEA Open playoffs in Source 11 years ago? No shit. Shaz used to get hated on a lot, but he's legit now. Yes, he's very controversial. Well, I don't know if controversial is the right word, but he was he like triggered a lot of people when he played CS, especially early on. The whole issue with the iBuyPower ban didn't help his case either. Like a lot of people fucking hated him for that. One of the first pieces, basically the first piece of evidence that came out was chat logs between Shazam and somebody else, and I don't think the somebody else was ever leaked. Nobody knows who Shazam was talking to, but Shazam was basically saying in these chat logs that iBuyPower was going to throw, and then that started the whole investigation into that. And yeah, I don't think the person that he was talking to was like the person that he was talking to was the guy that leaked it, right? Or the guy that sent it to Richard Lewis, and it was never revealed who that was. Anyway, so a lot of people were pissed about that because he basically was the first step to getting like the 5 best North American CS:GO players banned, and many people were butthurt about that. Oh, what a shot by Scream. Shit. Why so much drama in the CS:GO community? Yeah, I know. Well, it's old, right? It's been around for a long time. And like the people in it have been around for a long time too. So they've had time to you know, do I like this guy or do I not like this guy? Do I like Steel fucking hates Shazam, right? Obviously he got him banned from CS:GO for years and he's still banned from majors. So like they're never gonna get along. But like guys like Sean Garris have come out and said that they like Shazam. They thought he was a super good teammate. They enjoyed playing with him, and they had nothing bad to say about him, basically. Oh, Vanity can get a little closer with that. There we go. Oh, I'm surprised he pushed. Holy shit. Oh, he's worried about getting pushed from behind. You gonna save? Yeah. Oh, I thought they would have saved this. I would have saved this. Like they had all this time to set up their post plant, right? Yeah, you gotta save now for sure. Wait, what? What's the plan here? I guess they're so rich, he just wants to maybe impact their money a little bit, but he's got no HP to take a fight. I don't know what the point of this is. I would have rather just stick with the op. You're more likely to get a kill. That was weird. Kind of dumb. Steel got Steel banned. Yeah, 100%. I'm sure he dislikes Shazam for other reasons too. But I'm certain he doesn't like Shazam because, like I said, he was kind of the source for the first piece of evidence to come out about that. Did you not watch it live, or are you rewatching it? I did not watch it live, and I avoided the results. Sucks that teams like FPX and Vision Strikers couldn't make it. Yeah, I really wanted Vision Strikers to make it, but their storyline, it seems like, concluded just before the LAN. Like, that's some bad luck for them, but... I wonder how FaZe would have done. Didn't TenZ come out and say that, you know, holding LAN angles was different in Valorant, just like, or it's holding angles on LAN was just like in CSGO, right? So taking crazy aggressive peaks on LAN doesn't work out nearly as well as it does online, just like in CSGO. CSGO's the same way. So TenZ was saying, like, you have to adjust your playstyle a little bit, and that was really the kind of the gimmick by FaZe, right? They were super ultra aggressive, taking all these crazy gunfights and peaking when they probably shouldn't have been peaking. So I guess the idea is that a playstyle like that wouldn't translate to LAN very well. A playstyle like that too also does not translate to consistency very well either. So I think that's the reason why you've seen like such ups and downs from them, right? I feel the same way about Zelsis. I think people are going to hate him for talking about the Snapchat group on Steam. I don't know. I think the situation's evolved far into, like, you know what's even crazier? The systematic match fixing in Mountain Dew League, where there's, you know, according to Zelsis, 8 teams. So there's like 40 people fucking involved. And let's say only half the members on the team were involved. 20 people. Like, how many times have we heard, oh yeah, everybody knows about this, or everybody knew it was happening, and only one player had the balls to fucking talk up and actually say something about it? That is fucking ridiculous, in my opinion. Like, all these guys knew about it. Hundreds of players probably knew about it, knew that something was up. One dude said something publicly. Zelsis. He was the only guy. Everybody else, they just didn't want to rock the boat. They didn't want to burn bridges, whatever. Even like the top level teams, you would expect, or the top level players that really don't need to get mixed up in that shit or whatever, you know, like guys that are on the fringe of going pro, they never talked up, or they never said shit, you know. I thought that was pretty sad, to be honest. Berlin Masters in September. Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited for the LANs start picking up again, right? It seems like the whole pandemic is going to start chilling out, right? It's going to start calming down, hopefully. I think Shazam benefits from playing on Misfits with Sean Garris for a while. Time with a good IGL will do a lot for your decision making during C9. He made a lot of bad plays. Yeah. I got it, like... Okay, I gotta see if I can find this fucking play there. One sec. Okay, so here's the ultimate misplay from Shazam while he was on C9. Let me see if I can get this up here. I'll play this real quick. Wait, I gotta get the volume up for you guys. One sec. So you can hear that. So this is Semphis. He pushed mid, and then the way he calms. This isn't like, yeah, this is Katowice 2015. This is a like super important game. Get ready for this.
Yo, they're alt and shit.
Flash that?
Got one. Yo, exiting B, don't kill me.
Whoa, fuck. We're not the hall.
Sorry.
Mexi, man.
Dead.
See the great things you missed now that we don't have comms for these VODs? He gets a kill, then he calls exiting B. And he, like, who says exiting B, first of all? Like, what the fuck is that? And Shazam kills him. He's like, sorry. Like, these are the things we miss out when we don't have comms for these VODs. It's so fucking funny. Anyways, I think he was dropped shortly after that, by the way. Shazam, I'm pretty sure, was cut shortly after that happened. I know, poor Shazam is fucking hilarious. It was in, like, right at the end of the game, too. The score, I think, was 14-11. Right at the end of the game. Don't kill me, proceeds to kill him. Dude, proceeds to kill him. Like, what the fuck? Do you think genetics play a significant role on how mechanically skilled a player is? I remember Steele mentioning that hard work is better than genetics. What's your take? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna, I'm gonna rely on like professional sports. Professional sports, it's definitely, there is certainly an element of genetics, and then the people that end up at the top, are combining hard work with the genetics. But I definitely know people in sports that are ultra fucking skilled and never really, like, some people think like, okay, this guy's ultra skilled, he must have put in tons of practice hours or done a lot as a kid when he was younger to really get himself to this level. I know players in baseball that honestly did not practice more than just the normal amount, and they just exceed far more than anybody else. Like, there's, just because they're genetically gifted, and somebody that maybe didn't have that advantage would have to work a significant amount to get to that level. And then, like, obviously the ultimate combination is finding a super hard worker that is also genetically gifted. So yeah, I think there's an element for that, for sure. Bro, imagine friendly fire in Valorant. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised Valorant doesn't have friendly fire, to be honest. Shaz got dropped the next event. Yeah, that's what I remember too. Got signed by Optic. You're right. Okay, cool. My memory's not that bad, I guess, for some things. Yeah, genetics affects everything, right? It's reaction time, internal thought process, it like coordination, like everything. When you look at sports, there's guys that make it to the top, that aren't putting in the same amount of effort as other people, right? They just get there based on like their body frame or their or other aspects, right? Or like how strong they are, etc. Is this match fixing investigation ever going to finish? It seems like a liability keeping Tex or Marved or the other players that you know about that are going to get punished. I fucking agree. And like, you know what's even worse? They played in ESCA for years when ESCA knew about this. And then since ESIC was investigating, ESCA just said, oh, we're hands off. We can't. It's not our problem now. ESIC's got it, right? So these players played like fucking dozens and dozens and dozens of matches in CSGO when the league, ESCA, knew that they were guilty for match fixing. Like, yes, it's bad in Valorant, but at least like Valorant's disconnected. I don't totally blame an org for not, you can't not sign a guy just because some random YouTuber made a fucking video that makes somebody look like shit, right? I would hope these orgs did their due diligence. Obviously, a lot of them did not. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised Marv is on the team still, to be honest. He's kind of the odd man out. But yeah, the investigation needs to come out in a timely manner, and it did not at all. The longer it goes on, the more you think the feds will drop an indictment. I don't know. I have no idea how that's going to work out. In terms of the FBI getting involved, like, who fucking knows? Apparently, it's not even illegal to match fix in Canada. So I've seen or heard. There was like a case that was brought up where somebody was like blatantly match fixing and they just got banned from the league. Look at these shots from Benny. Holy shit. These nerd darts too. Oh man. What a game. Marv also made some comments on TenZ's girlfriend. Yeah, that was heavy cringe. Talking shit about TenZ's girlfriend and what he's gonna do when they're at LAN, and then of course he misses the LAN by a fucking mile. I think Riot has to step in and do something, right? They can't ignore it. Once Isak comes out and says, yeah, these 10, 15 professional Valorant players were match fixing for fucking 20, 30, 40 games, Riot's not going to be able to be like, oh, well, we're not going to do anything. They're going to have to do something. They can't ignore it, in my opinion. They don't need to ban them for years. They don't need to ban them permanently, but I think they have to do something, probably 6 months or something. They certainly cannot ignore it. Dude, Effie's is so good. I think Liquid's team comp would be better with Astra instead of Omen. I think that's the general consensus, right? Like, Astra's just a better Omen. Great round by Effie's. I'm actually, like, I don't hold a super strong opinion on what the comps should be, Like, these pro players are obviously putting in a lot more hours than me. And, there's a reason they're picking kind of the characters they are, right? Like, he's obviously on Omen for a reason. Maybe they have a special setup in mind, or maybe they have certain strategies in mind for that. But yeah, I don't hold a super strong opinion for that or anything. Like, I trust that these guys are making informed decisions. Maybe it'll backfire. Maybe they'll look like total ass because of the comp that they picked. But it's kind of part of the learning process, right? The other thing too is we talk about, like, whenever we talk about these matches, we're only watching these teams play a couple matches, 3 or 4 matches a weekend or something like that. But you have to remember, they've scrimmed dozens and dozens and dozens of times where we haven't seen them play at all, right? So, like, I was talking about Steel and his garbage opping earlier. Maybe he scrims and he's a god with the op in scrims, and I just don't know it because I can't see it, right? So I feel like we never talk about that, right? Like, we always judge them on, like, this one performance or this one match, but really, there's, like I said, Steel looks like ass with the op, but maybe when he scrims, he's a god. I don't know.
And this is the thing, there's a reason they normally make Yampy the raid boss. They give him the armor, the frenzy, or he gets the armor and he gets the frenzy in hand as well. It's worked out nicely there, you're right.
Effie's is goated, man. Glad to see he's doing well, yeah. He looks great. He's an older guy, too. I think he's mid-20s. Good old French-Canadian, a little je ne sais quoi.
It's also the fact that they know they're up against a bit of a force fight, just hearing that from Jammy, so no surprise now to be had. They're going to have to respect it a little bit more. They're not going to get away with maybe a cheeky pick here or there. A bit of damage done.
His shock darts always land, eh?
It's so early. That's so sick. That's so much time bought here now. Scream going to try and crest around Jammy.
Ooh.
Now opens up another avenue of approach, and you can see them being boxed.
It's like a half. Yeah, like, what the fuck is going on here? How do you lose this round? Fuck. Silver lineup's cringe, yeah. He really is. Like I said earlier, his shock darts are fine, but I still think they are. But if you got some good lineups and you can start consistently hitting people planting the bomb and shit, like people have to stop planting standard, right? You have to plant non-standard where you're not going to get shock darted. Is the way to adjust to that, right? If Sentinels win this, they got to buy out TenZ, right? No way Cloud9 lets them keep playing on a loan. Oh fuck, man, what a can of worms that is, right? I actually thought the $1 million rumor, like TenZ was rumored, his buyout was going to be $1 million. I actually thought that was not that bad of a price. Like, yeah, it's a lot of money, but like Sentinels has to decide, okay, is this one player going to turn us into the best team in the world, which was a very valid like chance, right? The first tournament they played with TenZ, they looked unbelievable. And they still look super, super good with TenZ. So it's, oh my god, what the fuck? They, like, I actually thought, there's a return on investment, right? And TenZ has a very successful stream. So are you signing this player, you know, you pay $1 million for the buyout, but then there's always a contract that goes in place, and the org is going to take a percentage of the streaming revenue, and they need to decide, like, in the future, if we can get you signed for 3 years, will you generate more revenue than that $1 million buyout plus your salary, right? And depending on how big Valorant grows, if it grows to a decent size, I thought there was a reasonable case to be made that, yeah, he was worth maybe $1 million buyout. Now the rumors are, like, the buyout is some fucking imaginary number that, like, that nobody knows, right? It was rumored to be like $3 million now because he had such a good performance. Is Cloud9 just raising the buyout to whatever the fuck they want? Anyways, I don't know what they do.
I feel confident and it's weird. Oh no. And now the pace change. It looks like V1 wants to try and switch into
I'm sure Sentinels is not thrilled that they don't have him under contract. Ooh, into the site. I agree. I think it was low. His brand in a growing game plus his skill. He's a gold mine for a new game. Yeah, exactly. Like, his stream alone is worth over $1 million a year. Easily. He gets like 20, 25,000 viewers. It would definitely grow because the game is growing. And then you have like, you can connect sponsorship deals to the stream and stuff. Just his stream alone probably generates over $1 million in revenue. The Valorant stream alone had more viewers than Flashpoint. Yeah, this topped out at 700K, right? Viewers pretty darn good. I think the highest CS:GO viewership I've seen was, look at the spot screens and what the fuck. Highest CSGO viewership was like 1.1 or 1.2 million concurrent viewers for one of the majors. Something like that. I'm sure the upcoming major for CSGO is going to be, the numbers are going to be crazy too. Like, there's nothing, CSGO isn't a dying game. Like, at the pro level, nobody's playing it in North America, obviously, but the concurrent player base is still very high. And the game is not dying by any means. It's still going to be around for a long fucking time. 750K was the peak. Okay. Dude, Penny is so great. I love watching this guy play. Valorant had drops that could compete with cobblestone level CSGO. Yeah, what was the cobblestone drop? A dragon lore or something? Or what the fuck was the drop? I remember everybody watching the cobblestone games though, to try and get the major drops. I am glad that there's no skin betting in Valorant. That was a whole can of worms in CSGO. But there's already, isn't there already betting? Like, you can bet on these Valorant games, can't you? I don't know what websites, but it's like the betting scene's already involved in Valorant. It's lame. I don't like it. The new guy, Jammies. Biggest stream ever was Cobblestone, one of the majors. Okay, so they were trying to, yeah, everybody was trying to get the drop, right? Yeah, where the fuck is he going with that? So Yampy was the guy that had a VAC ban, right, in CS:GO. He was VAC banned when he was young, and then never thought anything about it. Got a new account, kept playing. Eventually got to the pro level, and Valve found out that it was his account, and then forbid him from playing in majors because he had a VAC ban on one of his Steam accounts from like 4 years ago or something when he was 14 years old. So that's the reason. Like, he was a really big up-and-coming prospect in CSGO. Everybody thought that he was going to be a great player. And then he switched to Valorant because, like, he could never play a CSGO major. And then after playing, like, how many months in Valorant? He played, like, 6-8 months in Valorant. Then Valve comes out and says, oh, yeah, he can play in majors, too. I guess he was just a kid or whatever their fucking statement was. They basically said it wasn't a lifetime ban just because he had a VAC ban on one of his accounts. Skin trading being disabled in Valorant has prevented a lot of issues CSGO had, especially the issue with malware. Yeah, it's. I'm really not a skin guy, like in Valorant or CSGO. And I know Valve literally prints money off the fucking skins in CSGO, and it's ridiculous, but I'm glad that it's just, I don't even care what they cost. Yeah, they cost, like, I know the skins in Valorant cost like a ridiculous amount. I'm not fucking around here. Dude, these games are so good. But yeah, I don't care what the skins cost in Valorant. I'm probably not gonna buy any or many. So just make it whatever. Yeah, I know it's a free to play game, so you gotta make money somehow, obviously. So skins are as good as any way. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck are they doing? He's got 10 seconds to plant. Oh my god, get the fucking bomb down, dude. Holy shit. Scream did fall off, though. Scream fell off to spawn a little bit just because he thought it was going to be a B play. Why was he VAC banned? He cheated. He cheated when he was young. Oh my god, they're not even looking. See, that dash was super valuable right there. That dash just won them that round. Jesus Christ. Some hype. It's awesome. Imagine if the Phoenix wall hit him. Yeah. Yeah, he had like no HPA. Oh my god, these fucking shotguns. This play had everyone wondering what the fuck is going on. I'm so bad with the knives. It's so weird. It's like the knives are completely foreign to me, and I don't know like what I'm doing at all. Scream gets detained. You gotta save off that, right? Yeah, you save. If you're a Link, you just they're not going for it anymore. See, I don't. Wait, what am I saying? He's got a fucking shotgun. Never mind. They probably have enough money for next round, anyways. I wasn't paying attention to the score. Holy shit. You got it, right? Yeah. Phew. Run and gun with the knives. I feel like a Quake player or something would be really good with the knives, right? Like somebody that's used to flying around and just like aiming while midair and stuff like that. I feel like the knives do not translate to a CSGO player very well. Or like an Overwatch player would be probably like Baby Bay, really good with the knives, you know? Like obviously some CSGO players are doing great with it too, and all of these CSGO players are way fucking better than me. Jet's the most skillful ult. That's why I don't play Jet. I'm the hard stuck gold. Yeah. I agree. It's actually a really clever ult too, because it's you save it for a save round, or you like it's a very how can I say this? Like it adapts to many different situations, but it never really feels that overpowered. I know some people are saying it's a little overpowered, but it doesn't seem that overpowered to me. He literally just missed 2 guys walking through that. Are you kidding me? I'm just gonna flank. I guess that works too. Nobody checked wine. Like what? Dude, I can hit every headshot with left click, but I miss every single right click. It's probably because you're used to tapping, right? Like if you're a CSGO player, you can kind of tap away a little bit. Tap, tap, tap with a knife, but... You'd be half an inch away and still miss the right click. Dude. I don't know how anybody hits jets that do that. I was surprised the auto shotty never got adjusted, eh? I don't think it ever got balanced or anything. People thought it was possibly a little overpowered, like right here. Wait, if you can get an angle like that with the auto shotty, you're gold. Or the judge, sorry. Look at this res that this guy's playing at. He's playing like 800 by 600. Jeez, what a way to entry, eh? That makes so much space. And his teammate's fucking 20 feet behind him. That really is the way to entry. Bucky was ruthless. Yeah, the Bucky was ridiculous. It's a good thing that they adjusted that. It needed to be adjusted. Especially for how cheap it was. It was like, it's 900. Like, what?
by Liquid. And it does look like they're gonna play for that final round.
Auto shot got nerfed midair. Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, it got changed for the midair accuracy. I think that's it, eh? Is he gonna alt? Oh, he chooses not to alt because he doesn't think it's winnable.
He's got a 1v1, it's clean. Oh, he's got a 1v1 and now
3 bullets. 3 bullets. Oh my god. Oh, he got outweighted, eh? Like Ampy just stood there and kind of outweighted him. For the Stinger meta, Stinger meta was wild. Yeah, I agree. Stinger meta was way better than shotgun meta. You like don't see any stingers anymore. It's actually not that bad, but you just never see them anymore. They did a good job. I like how there's not too many guns too. It's just like a normal amount of guns, like kind of easy to wrap your head around sort of thing, but they all do their own thing. Saves the ult for this round. Yeah, for sure. Like, he very intentionally did not ult in that 3v1 because the chances of winning it, even with the ult, were low, right? You loved the Stinger until you had to take a fight that was like 20 meters away. And then you wish you fucking had literally anything else.
Now, bear in mind the Link got away with playing one, but Yampi falls away. Okay. He's fallen off that. Zelsis going to take a boatload of damage early on. And here we talk about it. The ult economy, you're spot on with this.
Divide goes up as well. Look at it. They're literally going to invest everything to get on.
But they're not pushing it. Maybe this is now going to be the go symbol. There it is. Going to get Yampi forced away for now. They're going to take the side control. This is all so picturesque, the take thus far. And there's the ultimate coming out as well. 3 ults in.
There's the Viper's Pit. In Korea, they take upper here too. They'll flash through it with breach, and then the jet will fly upper and take upper as well, or heaven, or whatever you want to call it. But they don't just stop in the bomb site and then fall back. They like keep gaining ground. It's like a way different piece of meta that you don't really see in North America very much. And so it, like they always get the jet to fly up there. Like I'm blind as fuck trying to blade people. Oh, the shock darts. Let's go. Let's see here. That was a good round. Okay, I'm gonna start this game. I'll be right back there. Let's get it to the beginning. There we go. Okay, I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Basically the cornerstone of Liquid's Ascent game plan. And actually, coming into Haven, it's the exact same thing.
Now, welcome to the no duelist look that gets run as well. It's not the first time we've seen it. V1 will be on the attacking side, Team Liquid on the defending side. And this is all for all the marbles. This is the first time EU and NA get to clash, and it's the perfect celebration of that. However, V1 going to start taking that space towards B. There are 2 players already waiting here, though. Yampi being one and Scream the other. A little help from that Viper. Going to help out, deny any early contact off the back, and a lean back in towards Garage.
And Solcat's actually great response there to send the Trailblazers through and pick up all that information. Scream and Yampi now tucked on B's site, and we know Yampi has looked so dominant previously here for Liquid. V1 going to stack up behind the Viper wall as soon as it drops. Play contact here. The bolt comes through. It's actually going to pull Yampi's sight away, but still good for 1.
He's able to turn back in time to find Vanity at the very least. Now, there was a good trade to come back in, though. And it looks like they lean back towards C. Now, Soulcast is going to watch this. Lower than ideal, 22 HP, but good enough for the frag to find towards Penny. There's other players here. Jammy's going to work through on long. Soulcast dead, can't do it. Going to get some flashbacks to map 2, but Zelsis can't convert. Screams on the case. Now Jammies A 1v3 needs the pick, can't get it. Cryptics denies, and it's going to be Liquid with the first.
Again, remaining composed there. Liquid running back and forth and not giving up and leaving a gap open for version 1 to essentially isolate and I guess capitalize on the contact shown on B. Actually, Soulcast, balls of steel with 20 HP to hold onto that position on logs. Unfortunately, Cryptics has to pull away and hit that reload, and Effie's identifies the fact that he can flush that out with a shock dart. Unfortunately, amounts to nothing, and Liquid put the pistol round up. Spectres across the board for them.
Scream going to take space towards long. Jammy's on the other side. Timing's a factor. And Scream finds it. No quick kill there, and map control maintained for Scream in that regard towards A. Soulcast goes for the info find, gets a little of it. Again, this may indicate once again that little bit of paranoia that could build through that garage play coming in. Now, again, we have seen that EU does tend to lean away from directly holding it, more the extremities off the back. And Yampy, speaking of back, playing very deep in that B side himself.
We want cautious in approach here. A little bit of utility sent out, but keep an eye on Penny, who managed to slip through garage here and backstab onto Yampy. Yampy's going to find Soulcast.
No way. No way. Cryptics is sweating bullets now. He's in so much danger. This is huge. Link does find Penny, though. I thought maybe Penny could have punished from deep CT, but no. Scream tries to deny the plant, doesn't get it, but he does at least get the player. And now the 2v1 Zelsis. What can you do with this? A little bit of utility to play with. Could make something out of it. Both going to play back through on CT. Okay, that's going to help out Matters. He knows where one is. Did they spot him on the cross? No, he's going around the world. Hypoc, this could be incredible.
All right. I'm back.
It's clear. Now the utility comes into play. Scream is not loving it at all. Time begins to dwindle. He knows he's got the time on this Scream, though. Going to try and sip this defuse here. He's going to get to a bare minimum.
Oh, that plant is awkward, eh? Scream, you could have stuck it. Holy shit, that was close. That plant was really awkward. Like, it was planted for long, but Zelsis was obviously not a fucking long. They just have classics. They just have classics and they win. What the fuck? Scream big mad.
So cautiously, and it works out perfectly for him.
And a quick start here. This is going to be a couple of upgraded pistols, but that's it really for Liquid. Actually, I'm glad the Potter brought up the point about Yampy's style when it came to that Crimson Jet, but it's going to be more exemplified when you watch him playing on a Killjoy. It's very unorthodox. It's the player, not the agent, when it comes to Yampy. I think is the biggest key component, and I'd never seen someone using Killjoy the way Yampy did on the attacking.
More fucking Brimstone, eh? From Link, he loves Brimstone. Like, you know, I like Brimstone too. He's easy to play, and he's, you know, he's fun-ish. He's got some nerdy lineups with the Molly post plant, which I actually don't think are that useful. Like, you're better off being in the bomb site, helping your team defend the fucking bomb site, usually. I'm not sure if Brimstone's good enough to play at a pro level. I don't know, man. Usually, like, if you're the only guy playing him, like, is he the only guy in Europe playing him, or do lots of people in Europe play him? I just feel like he's not even close to being good enough. There's way better options. In clutching, do you think it's better to focus on yourself? I should try to think that what the enemy is thinking about, play around that, basically out-aim mind games or mix of both. That's a good question. My aim is terrible, but I've always been a good clutch player. Maybe that's just because I'm old and I probably have played CS longer than most people, but the last thing I'm trying to do when I'm trying to clutch is to take a fucking aim fight, personally. I'm I'm usually really focused on positioning, and like you want to take a favorable gunfight, right? So if you can get into a position where you're, this fucking thing is too loud. I can barely hear myself talk. Sorry. Shut that up. Okay. Yeah, for me personally, anyways, usually the last thing I'm trying to do is to take an aim fight, but like you need to take it as slow as you can too. Like I'm also like a very slow player when I play last minute. Like, what can I think of as an example? Like I'll play, say it's like a 2v2 and you're trying to plant the bomb on a bomb site, or even a 2v, let's say a 2v4. I remember getting criticized by a teammate when I did this in Valorant. So it was a 2v4. I'm trying to plant the bomb. It was actually on Haven. I'm trying to plant the bomb at A. And I didn't want to just plant the bomb and get swarmed, right? So it's just because they're going to hear it go off, and there's going to be 2 or 3 guys right up on the site by the time I plant. They probably have 2 guys close to the bomb site, maybe 1B, 1A sort of thing. So like what I would do is like I'll push to try and get a kill before planting. If I was able to like sneak into site with nobody seeing me, and I'm like, okay, well if I made it this far, I could probably push to A connector towards B and maybe get a kill there. But I mean, like when I was trying to do this, I had teammates fucking yelling in my ears, plant the bomb, plant the bomb, plant the bomb. I'm like, no, I'm not going to plant the bomb and then we get swarmed in a fucking 4v2 retake. How about we go and try and get a kill before planting the fucking bomb? Anyways, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but you asked me a question. I tried to answer it. So basically, like I'll try and play slow and get into a favorable position. I think FPX plays Brim and Fnatic on some maps. I just don't see. I just don't see how Brim. I don't see how Brim lasts in this meta. Like, there's some really good fucking agents. Like, I just don't think Brim is good enough. But like I said, these guys play a lot more than me, and they can form a much better opinion than me. So I concede that that their train of thought is probably more in depth than mine. But just my personal opinion, I don't think Brim is that good. NA is the only region to fully embrace Astra. Yeah, it seems like that was like one of the big criticisms for 100 Thieves too, right? They didn't have Astra they didn't have Astra on any maps. It was like one of the things they had to learn. He just spams through it. Spamming through these goddamn smokes in Valorant is so strong. Because, like, the player models are so big, right? You're bound to hit something. Like, in CSGO, the smoke bloom is very large and the corridors are usually pretty wide. The hitboxes or the bodies are small. So, like, when you spam in CSGO, you usually don't hit anything or maybe a bullet here or there. But in Valorant, like, the hitboxes are so big and the player models are so big. You spam and you just pound the shit out of these guys through smoke. That's one of the big advantages of the Phantom over the Vandal. I actually prefer the Vandal for almost everything. But when you're spamming, the Phantom is much better. Like, it doesn't leave any tracers, right? So you can just more freely spam. I like the Slurk a lot. They have no ideas here. Yeah. Later. It's weird. It's weird how B gets kind of forgotten late round. But it happens all the time. Like, people just rotate off B. This scumbag. It's like an unbeatable angle for the judge. What do we think about Pansy casting? How do you guys like Pansy as a caster? Curious.
what we've seen recently from Liquid.
I usually don't like casters that like talk really fast or just try and fill every single moment of silence. You know what I mean? Like, how do I say this? Like, I feel like when you're casting, you need to be confident enough when you're casting that you don't just talk and talk and talk and talk. Both feed in for Valorant. She's pretty good.
Everything else to make use of, and actually V1
You like Pansy and Hypoc, yeah.
going up, have an all-out piece.
I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought I would, because I remember watching her in CS:GO years ago, years and years ago, and I really disliked it. Part of the reason was though, like CS:GO, honestly, 5-6 years ago in CS:GO, the casters were extremely talented, and it was like an all-star list of casters, right? And then Pansy would get it put in there every once in a while, and like she was good, but you had Sadakist and Henry G and Moses, fucking Anders and Semler were okay. Anyways, you had DDK and Bardoff. Like, you had really good casters. And I'm not saying like the only reason I like her in Valorant is because there's bad casters, but the quality of casting in Valorant isn't quite what it was at in CS:GO at CS:GO's peak. You like Lothar and Doug? Yeah, Lothar's cool. Lothar's been around a long time. I remember watching him play Hearthstone. This fucking lurk here. And that's the moment they knew they were going to lose the map. When you start fucking that up. Yeah, I got to say DDK and Sean are by far my favorite. Yeah, DDK and Sean, they're so good. So good. And like I said, it was it's almost like a confidence thing, right? Like Sean knows he's good at the game, DDK knows he's good at the game, and he's a good caster. They don't mind like talking slowly or taking time to explain something, and they don't rush into their casting, right? They calmly do it. That's kind of that's my thing. Look at these little angles they have for the for these maps, the like set camera positions that they can cut to. Here's the guy on the hunt for all the guns. You think Doug, DDK, Sean Gares, and Riv are my favorite casters? I don't like Riv. I don't know, man. I don't like. I don't know what it is. Was it Riv? The guy? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Rivington. Riv. The whole chef's kiss thing. How many? Like every time anybody that says chef's kiss is dead to me. You're fucking dead to me. Never. It is so brutal. Like, why do people say that? I fucking hate it. Maybe I'm overcritical, but this was okay. I'll see that again from Vanity's point of view. He knows that he bumped into something, so he looks behind him like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? Just shoot him." That was literally a throw. He waves at him. What do you guys think about Scully and the guy with the afro? They're really good, I thought. They're young, eh? Like super young. I thought what was I doing? I turned on the stream and I had it on mute and I saw those guys. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing here? And then they started casting. I'm like, dude, they were really good. They were way, way better than I expected. I thought they did great. You hear casters use the term dark horse a lot when referring to certain terms, and it gets repetitive. Yeah. Sully's 17, up mine is 19. They're going to be good casters, I think, if they stick with it. Like, they're so young. I thought those guys were going to be great. They were entertaining. V1 looks nasty here. They look unreal.
commiseration medal on this. Vanity shuts it down. V1 are just taking this by the horns.
I have sympathy for casters that use like the same term often, you know? Like it's hard to, you know, even me just talking kind of while streaming, like it's hard to not repeat things that I'm used to saying, you know? And these guys, like, they're on the mic for hours at a time sometimes, right? So, like, if you're on the mic for a couple hours, like, eventually you're going to start saying things over and over again. Like, I feel your pain. But if you dare say chef's kiss when a play is made, you are dead to me. They also use Dicey a lot, and Dicey the player is always watch party. Really? I never noticed that. I'm sure he gets a kick out of that while he's watching it. Pansy's great, but the other EU casters are hit or miss. Gotcha. Pansy's super experienced. She's like, you gotta respect somebody that's grinded kind of the tier 2 of casting in CSGO. And she's always stuck with it, right? Like she never, and honestly, like I'm the last person to talk about, how can I say this fucking normally? I'm sure it was difficult for her being a woman and casting in CSGO, right? Just knowing how the scene kind of works and the people that watch these games and shit like that, I'm sure it was not that easy to stay doing it, especially when you're like, she never really made it to the final step. She never made it to the... She's never casted a major or anything like that. But she obviously loves doing it, and she's got a good... And she has very good work ethic to be able to stick with it and keep grinding. And now I'd say she's probably like the... You know, top 5 casters in Valorant for sure worldwide. I know, like, a lot of people enjoy her. I've seen a lot of people say that she's the best caster in Europe.
They are running this game. They are running this game, and Liquid do not have an answer yet.
You watch the Korean casters from Dopamine Rush? Yeah. I watched... so, I actually am a huge StarCraft fan. Like, I watch StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2 all the time. So, I'm very familiar with Tasteless and Artosis. And when I saw that they were casting Valorant, I thought they were... I'm like, okay, I gotta catch this. So I watched some of their games, and dude, they are honestly by far my favorite casters. Tasteless and Artosis, best casters of all time, probably in any esport. But they did not come all that prepared for Valorant. It's like they knew the moves to some abilities, or they knew the names of some abilities, but you could tell they had never played an FPS game in their life. Like they were struggling to describe even like ultra basic concepts to Valorant, but I still enjoyed the cast, and it's kind of what I expected. I didn't expect them to be, you know, they were both professional StarCraft 1 players. Artosis was a professional StarCraft 2 player. I didn't expect them to have that level of knowledge in Valorant at all. I still enjoyed it, but from like a analytical point of view, there was nothing there. Like, there was nothing going on with that. They were arguing what the players were drinking at one point. V1's lurks were absolutely insane this map. Yeah, that's a good lurk map. You can really get some good lurks off on this map. Ooh. Vanity had an op there, but he chose to keep the he chose to keep the frenzy at that angle. Some great rounds here. Harry and Hugo are probably favorite casters in any esports. They make it so fun. They're especially good online when the games aren't as serious. Are you talking about Tasteless and Artosis? Their banter in like StarCraft games is fucking hilarious. They're like, I don't know, man. That, like, you can't cast Counter-Strike or Valorant like that. At least I don't think so. Because like StarCraft is special because the first 5 minutes of a StarCraft game is usually super boring. So you can talk and you can shoot the shit and you can talk about whatever, right? You can't really do that. It's just because Valorant, it's not the same, right? Like right off the bat, you kind of have to start talking about the game. So you don't get like the good banter between the casters. But man, they are enjoyable to watch in StarCraft. Do you enjoy any battle royales? I played a little bit of PUBG. I remember watching a little bit of PUBG. Actually, Tasteless also casts PUBG. I watched a little bit of it. I was into it for maybe 4 months or something like that. And then I just, you know, there's only so much time in a day, right? I can follow too many scenes. I really only watched it pretty casually. Definitely not nearly as involved as I am in Valorant or CSGO sort of thing. I watch basically, you know, as much about Valorant as I can nowadays. Are co-streams going to replace casters? I don't think so. That's actually a good question. Actually, you know what? Usually when I'm watching Valorant, it's because it's always during the day. My kids are running about, so I can't. Like, I would put it on Shroud's stream, but like there's so much profanity, I can't really have my 5-year-old listening to those. So I put it on the official streams because there's no profanity for my kids. I'm sure not everybody does that, but like the official stream still gets like good viewership numbers. Not as good as Shroud or anything, but it still gets good viewership numbers. Playing against Viper post plant is just ridiculous. It's like unfair. Yeah. That's like the secret to Viper, right? Like you keep yourself alive for the post plant and you bring it home. You used to play battle royales until you started playing Valorant and they feel so slow now. Yeah. I don't know. I think like some of them are still so popular, right? And it's just, I guess for me personally, it was just a flash in the pan, kind of like a fad or whatever for me. Like I enjoyed it when it came out. I played it with friends. I played Apex a little bit. I played the Call of Duty one. What was that called? Warzone. I played that a little bit with friends, and I had fun with them all. But like, I never got involved in the professional scene. I never really followed it too much as an esport. I think spectator-wise, they're not nearly as good as Valorant or CSGO. Like, there's no comparison. Like, as a spectator trying to enjoy watching the game. Like, watching PUBG was fucking brutal. It was not that fun to watch. Dude, Team Liquid's getting wrecked. You'd watch Plat Chat over any caster, to be honest. Yeah, the Plat Chat guys are entertaining. They're good. Oh, he almost whiffed on that first guy. Here's Jamie's bringing it home. They know exactly where he is, right? It's like, we know where your lineup is, dude. Pro Warzone is a joke. It's kill races. Whoever farms the most bots. What the fuck?
This has been amazing to watch, Lauren. It absolutely has. Watching this in North America when they bested again.
See that peak? The entry. Look. Where's this peak? Watch this peak when they come to the site. So Penny went up on the boxes there, and then Vanity peaked the low side. So they peaked. That was a double peak onto Cryptics when they came to site. Like, to do stuff like that, and like they're doing it at full speed, right? They're swinging out exactly at the right time to swing on a player. That was really well coordinated. Okay, piss around. Ooh. NA predictable. bunch of new orgs entering back into Apex recently. I honestly never followed the Apex like pro scene or anything, but I'm glad that the game is doing well. But you know what? I'm really glad Valorant came out because I am so sick of Steam or Valve and CS:GO, and just like, I don't know, the game CS:GO is so huge. It's such a big game, and it's always been extremely popular, but it's never had the attention of its developer. Like CS:GO was not even developed by Valve. That's how little attention they played. That's how little attention they paid to their star franchise, in my opinion. One of their best or biggest franchises, Counter-Strike. They developed a sequel, CS:GO, but they outsourced it to a totally to an outside company. They never made the game themselves. That tells me, or that basically tells me everything I need to know about Valve. Do you think Team Liquid's mental boomed, or is V1 just better? I'm sure the nerves were tough. I don't think nerves play much of a factor on map 3. You know, nerves come into play early on, in my opinion. Once you're on map 3, dude, you're like 2 hours into this best of 3. Your nerves, if they're still a problem, you need to get checked out, because that's not good. Like by now, they should be playing what their skill level's at, I think. There's still the argument, like, this is just one best of 3, right? If they played 10 best of 3s, you know, what would the difference be? How many would Team Liquid win, and how many would version 1 win? Like, who's truly the better team? But I mean, in a tournament format, you're on LAN. Now's the time to perform. We're not doing if and what but, you know, like, it's you put up or shut up, right? And it looks like V1 is putting up. Team Liquid looks like shit on this map. Have they released any games? Yeah, they released Half-Life Alyx, right? They made that VR game. They developed that. Other than Half-Life Alyx, no, I don't think they have. This could have been 2-0 if Zelsis had his gun out. He redeemed himself in this map, though. I don't remember him not having his gun out in a specific situation, but what's the bracket look like? Like, who are they playing next? Oh, I don't want to spoil the I'm not going to look up the bracket. I don't want to spoil the Sentinels game. I'm going to watch that after this. Will you be watching the Sentinels game? Yeah, I'm probably going to just skip through it, though, so I can watch it tonight. I'm not going to stream it, though. I'm going to close the stream after this game. Just because I'll probably, you know, watch this map 2 of the Sentinels game, or start at map 2. On split mid, he put an alarm bot as Link walked up and cost him the round. Okay. I mean, those things happen, though. And sent it to OT, yeah. I mean, you know, I'm sure if you look at the earlier rounds, there's small, minute things that happen earlier that could have swayed the round count. I mean, shit happens, right? Oh, he was in such a good position with the shotgun there, too. Only got one. And his fucking turret gets a kill. Who's your next video about? Ooh, it's a surprise. The next video that comes out, though, will be like a clever plays type video. Oh, winner of Sentinels Fnatic plays Vikings. Okay, gotcha. Oh, what a whiff by Yampy. How the fuck did Zelsis not kill him there? He was off for half the clip there. Holy shit, he whiffed on that. Let's see the replay on that. Watch this whiff. Where is it? He whiffs like 14 bullets. Kind of a ridiculous question, but do you think certain crosshairs are better than others? I think it's totally personal preference. I mean, once you start getting to a certain level, you barely even need to see your crosshair. Just a very faint outline, and everything is just kind of reactionary. I'm sure a lot of these pro crosshairs are going to be are all super small, right? They barely even need to see it. What the fuck is this? What a shit show of a round. Holy fuck. Release the zoo animals. What a weird position to be in. Oh my god. Dude, what a round by Zelsis. Holy shit. Good game from him too. Look at the frag count. Jeez. You see him yell, yo, let's fucking go. Oh shit, fast forward too far. Dude, I'm so happy to see NA not be total garbage. How many times has EU won majors, right? Finally, we got some games on the board. I hate how they turn off the cams literally the second the round is done. Yeah. I didn't even notice that until you said that. I was rooting for V1, but also rooting for Scream. Yeah, you know what? Scream's had a long career too. I hope he finds it. Well, I mean, he has found success. He's on a good team and everything like that. But oh, they detained him. Oh my god. It's a good series, man. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. I might do this again tomorrow night. Kind of just watch the games from tomorrow afternoon. And yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. 1 BO3 down. And I'm going to go skip through the Sentinels game there. Okay, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.